Hello, everybody. Danny Shea here, along with Psychic Duck, and we are going into space. I like space. Yeah, I know you do. Yeah, give me a little more space because you're crowding me. All right, that's not the space we're going to. We're going to visit those guys. And that. So, we're talking about the three-eye atlas. Comet or spaceship? So there is quite a bit of debate, and here's what I am asking you all to do is let go of the ego, let go of what we know, let's see what the cards have to say, let's see what your intuitive sense has to say. You can agree or not agree, but let's just be open to the possibility of what's going on. Ken Follett, he is an author that, I am looking at notes, so this may be a little jumpy. He is an author of thrillers and historical books. And when he's writing a historical book, he says he takes 80% facts and 20% imagination and uses his imagination to tie the facts together into a cohesive story. But he is writing a book, an historical book on Stonehenge, and in that process, he goes, I don't have the facts. I don't have 80% of the facts. So I had to flip it around so that it's 80% imagination, 20% facts. It's kind of the way this is here, because the facts as we know them keep changing. So when it was first discovered, when it was first discovered by a Harvard physicist, earlier this month, he said a rare interstellar object was passing through our solar system. And he suggested at that time that it may be more than a comet. Now, he's saying it could even be a nuclear-powered spaceship. And this guy has also raised questions on this unusual trajectory that this thing is on. So let's go back to the name, because I think this is kind of fascinating. Three-eye atlas. This is the third interstellar object passing through our solar system that they know of. And where did they get the atlas? Atlas is, and this just freaks me out, Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. And I know, it's like, hey, you forgot the impact in the atlas. Well, they put a hyphen in there, terrestrial hyphen impact. So I'm like, oh, it's the last warnings? Oh my God. So they have these telescopes, and again, facts. So when I look on the internet, when we know that's factual, when I look on the internet, I get it from China, this spaceship. So it's an array. China, Chile, Hawaii, and I'm sure there's a couple of other telescopes that are looking for these asteroidal impacts. Asteroidal. From that, we have a lot of interest in it. We have a lot of YouTube interest in it. I just saw a video that popped up, and I think it was with Bashar, I'm not sure. But Pam Gregory and Stefan Burns has one. Stefan Burns has one by himself. And so, I mean, he is a galactic physicist, so I would pay attention to him. Even, who is that? Do I have his name down? I can't remember his name. The funny black physicist guy. He's on all the podcasts and stuff. he was saying that, he goes, well, that wouldn't be my first guess that it was a spaceship, but he's not ruling it out. So I'm like, yay, all right. So when I dropped, the very first time I looked at this, and I used my contact cards with it, I got a whole bunch of cards. We'll look at what cards I'm going to use later. I got that this comet, this 3-eye atlas, as we call it, this third interstellar object, and I probably should come up with a better name for it. It was coming with a source message, meaning it was coming with a creator, God message. I'm like, whoa. Well, and I do have, I mean, that's already recorded. That's up on YouTube a while back. And I hope I timestamped that video. So I always thought it was something big. When Libby over at Meister Tarot said, hey, could you do a deep dive on this? Because I'm getting a lot of questions and you're the guy. And I went, I'm not the guy for this. Dr. Gale, Skywalking with Moon, is the one to ask. So I asked her. And then Gale turns around and said, I'm going to ask you because you're the man. I'm like, what? What? Anyway, they were putting stuff on me, and I'm like, really? So what did Gale and I get with it? We both got that it's a spaceship. Gale got that the beings on this spaceship were, and I need to read, they are Yael beings. I never heard of a Yael being. And so she goes, well, who do you get on this being? Using our imaginations, right? Because we don't know. And the first image that came into my mind, first word, was reptilians. And she goes, oh, I don't think so. And I go, well, you know, I'm not that good at it. I'm not that good at picking out you're a this, you're a starseed that, because we're such a homogenized blend of all the starseeds. And she goes, oh no, you're really good at this, and you're going to get really good at this or something. I'm like, but that's not me. Well, I don't know, maybe it is. So I pulled a spread, and the very first spread that I got on this, the very first card, was reptilian. And I did do a video just of the spread that I got, and I'll put that at the end of this video so you can see it. The other thing that I got, that I heard about this comet, is so the trajectory, the trajectory is weird for a comet. It's going against the grain. It's going too fast. The makeup, and this is something that it's so weird. Somebody said the plasma makeup is different in for a comet. This plasma on this comet, and then somebody I read somewhere else said that comets don't have plasma. So I'm like, guys, come on, you guys, YouTube, come on, Google, get your facts straight. So, do comets have plasma? I would say we're all in a plasma soup, but that's another video. So, one of the things that I caught in a YouTube video was that as this gets closer and closer and we get a better look, one of the things that they were saying that I thought was really interesting was that they sensed that there was a power source on the inside, and that's why it was glowing a certain color. And it was changing colors, and it is now glowing this a color that indicates a power source. In this one video that I started to watch said it had like a 20 megawatt or something power source in the large comet. I'm just going to use that comet word for now. And then there were other outside scout ships, I think, outside fragments, and they were all traveling with this comet spaceship, and they were going at the same speed. They were made up of the same material as the comet spaceship, and that material is unusual for a comet. It's okay for a spaceship, as far as they know. And the weird thing was that the individual little followers, I'm going to call them scout ships, they had a bigger power source, like 3 times as big as the big spaceship. And I'm thinking, the hell? What's that about? And I did ask Gail that. She goes, well, we have galactic power stations here that the government won't let us deal with for entertainment only. I'm just making this crap up. I don't know. So you government agencies, go away. We just want space people here. Okay, so these scout ships, right? Back to the scout ships. I had to look up what Yael beans are, and they're a type of gray hybrid. And when I looked this up, okay, and the book that I looked it up with was the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, The Ultimate Guide to Greys, Reptilians, Hybrid Nordics, blah, 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 by Craig Campobasso. And I go, how does he know all this stuff? He's channeling it from somebody, just as Lisa Royal Holt channeled this Galactic Heritage deck. And so I want to get back to the scout ships on there. Gail said they're Yael beans. And when I looked it up, the Yaels are part of the Sasani beans from a parallel Earth time stream. We can get into that later if you want. But there are also those Sasani beans. They are a group of beans that have 7 different hybrid races associated with them. And I thought, scout ships. And each one of those hybrids are part of a galactic awareness and a galactic knowledge of evolution that they had to pass through to bring, and they're going to bring that information to us to share. And even as I say that, I get chills. So either it's really cold here or I might be onto something. Okay. All right. Let's go into some of the questions. I did do a reading last night for myself on what was Stephen Burns and Pam Gregory. The title of their video was where is it? Hang on. Earth will be transformed, and it was a big heading, and I'm like, oh yeah. So I did a reading on it, and I hope I'm not repeating myself because I had to stop and redo this. If I am, forgive me. Okay. The reading I did on this, I said, what is the message from this interstellar object that we're going to be getting? And I didn't record it. I wish I did. The information that I got, I think the beginning card was the moon card. We're going to get secrets revealed to us. And then the other thing that struck me, there was a lot of major arcanas. There was a lot of king energy. I had 3 king cards. The only king card I did not get was the King of Swords, which I'm like, whew. So maybe, they're not here to kill us. They're here to bring us some information. King of Wands, new information, strong, seasoned information. The King of Cups, seasoned humanity. How do you deal with humanity? And a lot of these galactic sources, you have what are their belief systems? And this is from this book. And I kind of like it because it just lays it out pretty much into 2, where you believe in the law of one, which is everything is all connected. What you do to others, you do to yourself, because we're all interconnected, or just focusing in on self. What can I do for me besides buy another Lamborghini? I can always, sorry. That was a little squirrel moment. Squirrel. Okay. So these galactic beings, the message that I got was it was all benevolent. It wasn't destructive. In the potential near future, I got the Tower card. And I went, that's not like laser stuff coming down, but it is a shaking of our foundational knowledge that we're going to rebuild. And it was all with this king higher knowledge. So I thought that was really, really cool. Okay, so let's get into some of your questions. The decks that I'm going to be using right now, my Galactic Heritage deck, one of my favorites. The other really, really amazing deck that I have for Contact is the Contact cards. I pulled out Scott Allen's Extraterrestrial Universal Oracle. It was saying, hey, use me. I also have Starstream Oracle, Starseed Oracle, and the Sci-Fi Tarot. Now the Sci-Fi Tarot, it's more of a fun, really light, fun deck. The other deck that I used when I was asking about the Earth will be transformed in 12 months video, like how I did that. That was just a regular tarot deck. That was my Tarot Grand Lux. And so it's more of a just solid earth type deck. Serious, more serious. That's it, more serious. Okay, let me rearrange my table and we're going to get into your questions. Okay, back again. So in that short time where I cleaned the desk, I also did a short little prayer, a little meditation, making sure I'm protected. Because if we're going to be talking about reptilians and greys, we definitely want to stay in the light. We want to be protected with all of that. I am not afraid of the reptilians, and I hear some people out there in my head going, oh, you need to be. I don't let them into my awareness. I mean, they can come to the edge, and then I have my protection saying, no. Now, that works for me, okay? And then if it doesn't, then Well, who are you going to call? Well, I'm going to call Dr. Gale and go, help me, help me. And she has done that before in the past. So I grabbed the Galactic Heritage right off the bat. I am going to be using my pendulum. I asked if it was okay. The 3 questions I asked of my pendulum all the time is, am I fully protected? Am I accessing my higher source? And do I have permission to douse? Very, very important when we get into this space. And we want to make sure we get out of this space and close it back down. I feel like it's more like a journey, a shamanic journey. When we start going into the non-ordinary realm of 3D, we need to come back to the 3D, because our soul contract, when we were up there and we're like signing our John Hancock, Juanita Hancocks, whatever, depends on who we wanted to be. When we signed that contract, we said we want to come to Earth. So we got to keep coming back. Okay, otherwise we're not honoring who we are. Okay. All right. So this is, some of you guys asked a whole lot of questions. Where is its origin? So this is from YouTube Mama, I think. So where is its origin? Well, what I got from the very first, it's coming from source energy. So it's coming from, again, is it like coming from a planet? Does that make any difference if it comes from, let's just throw out a planet, Mars or Chiron or an asteroid? Or, I mean, does it matter? What matters is the message, I think, and what I heard is it's coming from source energy. It's coming from the founders. Okay, who crafted it, sent it? Well, that, again, to me, seems like it is, who sent it was creator energy. Are there messages inscribed or downloaded onto it? I say yes. If so, will we be able to access them? That's a good question. What are our blocks that we have to let go of to access this information? Okay, so she asked a bunch of questions here. So let's just, I'm going to throw the pendulum on it. I'm going to drop this camera down, but during this video, I think you may just need to trust me on this. Psychic duck's going, no. Trust but verify. Okay. This is my iPad with questions on it. I am not bringing out my dowsing sheet, but we will just go with that. So the way I do my dowsing is I hold it here short, and come on, go away. I keep touching my iPad. Okay, so let's go. When it goes into a circle like this, I hope you can see the circle. It is ready for a question. Yes and no is, yes is up and back, no is that way. All right. May I ask a question, please? And it is yes. Am I fully protected? Do I have permission to douse? And am I accessing my higher source in the galactic realm? That is a yes. This origin, is this 3I here to deliver a message to Earth? Yes. Is this, I'm waiting for it to get into the I'm ready position, and it is as a circle. Thank you. Is this message for the human species on Earth? Yes. Does it matter? Let me ask a question, please. Does it matter what planet or star system this 3I is coming from? No, because it's interstellar. It's not in our system, so we wouldn't know pretty much anything about that. All right. And the pendulum got really quiet on that. Okay, so what else? May I ask a question, please? Here we go again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This message that it's bringing, will we be able to access it? It's not giving me a yes, it's not giving me a no. It's going this way, and I think it is, okay, let me ask another question. This information that is coming to Earth and humanity, will we need to remove some blocks in order to understand it? Well, that's a big yes. Will we be given, okay, may I ask another question, please? Will we be given the tools, the awareness on how to remove these blocks in the near future? Yes. May I ask another question? Will this time frame that we remove our blocks and that we see and understand this messaging, will it be in time to save the species and our planet? Yes. May I ask another question, please? Will this information be a forced removal of our blocks like in a tower moment, or will it be gentle? Let's go with it. Will it be a forced tower moment? It's not. Could be. Will it be a gentle moment? That's a yes. So I think that we're going to get yes and no. Let's ask one more question for her. Will this, let me ask a question, thank you. Will this land on Earth for us to be aware of? That is a yes. Okay. One more. May I ask one more? May I? Is this being guided? Yes and no. Is this a programmed? Yes. Is this like programming in an autopilot? Yes. Okay. So again, with all these questions, you got to be really, really clear with how you phrase the question. So yeah, it is being guided by an external force, but it's like autopilot. You have to put in the destination, so that information needs to get in there. Okay. Is it traveling outward from the galactic core? Is it passing through here by happenstance? No. Will the gas cloud affect Mars? And is it related to any known prophecy? Interesting. Is it related? Is it related to any known prophecy? Ooh, that was a big yes. You gotta trust me. Famous last words, right? Trust me. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it is. It is. And why? How? Okay, gotta ask. Galactic heritage. Why is this? Why is this related to a prophecy? Have you been, oh, there's the question I want to ask. Yes. I got yes right away. Yes. Because it's coming from source energy. So source energy is also giving the setting up the prophecies. So yes, it's coming from the founders, source energy. We are all one. The vibrations we set out are one. Okay. Oh, here's a really good one for Oyster Diva. No questions. What? Where is your curiosity? Okay. She goes, you always know what to ask. So that was my question. Oyster Diva, where is your curiosity? I hope she's laughing. She, he, them, there. Okay. Starships around are beings that travel are there beings that travel on them? Yes. They are cloaked. I am convinced that when full exposure does happen, it will not be like this. I believe this is space matter like a comet. All right. So that's what she believes. That's not what I'm getting, but so what popped in my head was this is the blocks that we need to let go of. Maybe. I don't, it's up to you to decide that. But I wouldn't hold on to that belief so tight that when things start showing up that you can't explain, that you still hold on really tight to that it's a comment. I was thinking the other day, a little squirrel moment, actually this morning during my 7:30 prayer meditation, still doing that for the earth, for peace. And when I dropped into that energy today, I felt more people in the circle. So those who are joining, thank you. Even if it's not at 7:30, even if you imagine yourself shifting time and saying, I know it's 1:30 in the afternoon, but I am going to imagine it's 7:30 in the morning and drop into the circle. It's always there. And besides, there's people doing this at all different times. So cool. Okay. Now I forgot where I was going. So, okay. So, what I was going to say is I was thinking about strength and power and the power that we can heal the earth. And I go, it's, all it is, it's, I'm bringing in eagle energy and bear energy and jaguar energy and buffalo energy. And I'm going, we need strength to keep moving forward to heal this planet. And this hummingbird dive bombed me. And I went, because before I was just thinking, we just need to do little bits, just little bits. We don't need to be big, little bits. And that little itty bitty hummingbird dive bombed me. And it kind of scared me because I got close. And I went, oh, remember, we don't need huge, just little incremental steps. Okay, so So you can't. So just be aware. Don't hang on too tight to it's just a comment. And it could be just a comment. Okay. All right. The Mystic Next Door. Kelly, whatever it is, I hope it beams me up. Okay, so here we have two different opposing forces because I want her to stay down on this planet. She wants to be beamed up. Or maybe she just wants to be beamed up for a tour. If that's the case, then I'm okay with that. But if she wants to be beamed up forever, So Kiki says ETs don't travel this way. Watch some Dr. Greer. No. So Dr. Greer is a CE5 contact guy. And I've watched some of his stuff. And for me personally, it somewhat resonates. I resonate more with Lisa Royal Holt and the way she does it. Linda G, the way that she does it, it's not at all like Stephen Greer. So again, we have these holds on what we want to see. And the message that I'm getting in this video is let that hold go. Be aware. Oh my gosh, is that it? Is that it? Okay, so I looked at the clock at the timer and it was only 36 minutes. Some people are going, 36 minutes is too long. Let's look at some cards. Let's throw some cards on this. So as I'm using my Galactic Heritage deck, one card was upside down in the whole deck. And it's the Pioneering Spirit, Lyra, of the past. Now, let's look at different time streams here. I have to pull up my little notes. So in this deck, you have past, present, future, parallel time streams. The past time stream is childhood, wounded era. That's what this Pioneering Spirit said. It's bringing us information for our wounded childlike era. The present era is adulthood and healing. Okay, so the future time stream is maturity and awakening. And then the parallel, well, it's parallel. So it doesn't really matter. So, okay, what is the message? What is the message? Knowing all these questions that we have just had, and some questions that we haven't asked. What is the message that the Galactic Heritage deck wants us to know about this object that's coming from interstellar space area beyond our galaxy? What is the message that they want us to hear? Is it a transformation? Is it just a rock? What is it that they want us to hear? Okay, I'm going to hit pause. Let me pull this down. I'm going to hit pause and clean up the desk here. Okay. 108. This is the last card in this deck, and there are the last four cards in this deck are Orion Light, and it represents a complete healing and integration of not only within the polarity that the Orion system dealt with, very similar to our system right now, but Orion Light, they managed to get out of the polarity and out of the judgment. And so this is saying that we are in the healing era. This is the future. The awakening era, that we can get past this polarity. So it is bringing the law of one into this space. The challenge is mental transformation. Serious future. And so for those who have the app, you may get a little more detailed information from the description, but I'm just going to use what I get intuitively, because that's kind of where we're going on this video, this mental transformation. And it goes back, it's a confirmation of what I talked about. What is the mental transformation that we are going through? At first we see emptiness and it's like, oh, we have nothing, we're empty. No, we are empty vessels. When we talk about being a hollow bone, that is that. No judgment, it's no ego, it's just let the information come in. And in this card, one of the things that she wrote about, she goes, it's like taking off in an airplane. At first it's really bumpy, and the scenery is filled with so many distracted things, but then when you get higher, it smooths out and there's less distraction to look at, and we become into the void of creation. The next card is the founding card, is the founders, is creator. And that starts all over again. Okay, so the mental transformation, what do we need to accept? What do we need to let go of so that we can accept something? Primal fear, the reptilian. Okay, the reptilian parallel. A lot of times we immediately think of it's going to kill us, and you see that in some of the videos, and the world is going to end, and we're going to get a lot more of that too. We just had the rapture, and it was fear. Oh my gosh, we're all going to die. We got 3 days of darkness coming. Well, you know, maybe that's good, because then we can get into this emptiness and quiet, and there's not so much distraction. We don't have the internet bouncing us around. We get quiet, and it's maybe not so scary. And maybe we can get our circadian rhythms back and go to sleep when the sun sets and wake up when the sun rises. Okay, so we have this fear. It's like, run away. But that's not always the right way to do it. We need to, I think, be aware and make sure we have our protections, but we call in our higher source where we can't get hurt by any reptilian forces. And again, I said it was a reptilian species. Gail said it was something different. I think it's a collaboration of many different stars. Excuse me. And I don't know what it is when I get the hiccups when I talk about something. I need to look into it. Is that I'm on the right path, or am I on the wrong path with this? But I think this is the right path. There is a collaboration of interstellar species bringing us information. And so it may be one species with all of this knowledge. Maybe it's got the book of intergalactic species and goes, hey, look at all this. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's a big book, or maybe it's individuals. In the past, I don't read these reversed. imbalanced in positive polarity. Interesting. This is the Pleiades past. And it was upside down. So if I was reading it upside down, it would be they're bringing us an information on how to balance our polarity. But with this imbalance in positive polarity, it can't all be good. It can't all be, oh, I'm pushing the reptilians away and they're never. I mean, it's just energy. It's neither good nor bad. But if we allow it to be, then it will be. And if we allow it to manifest really bad, then it could be. And I may not be knowing what I'm talking about at all here. Okay, so make your own decisions on this. Put your comments below. Don't comment on me so much, but comment on the idea of, what is this imbalance in positive polarity? We can't all be like, just, living in a dream world, although why not? That's what I heard. Why not? You can too, because we had a soul contract to come down here to live in contrast, to live and experience the polarity. So it can't all be positive. It's got to be both. And we get to learn from that. At the top of the reading, the light of awareness. Again, one of the last cards here. Okay, the light of awareness, when I look at this, it's the fire in the heart space, in the gut. What lights us up? And so often we play in this primal fear, this reptilian dark energy. That's what we're marinating here, especially in our today's world. That's what we're marinating in. And this message from this craft is saying, give us the light of awareness. And what is that? It's not saying give us that. It's saying pay attention to the light of awareness. Pay attention to what's in your heart, what lights you up, what you find joy and happiness in. And what's it doing? It's here to save humanity. Is it the tower moment? We already have the tower moment in our humanity. When we look at the UN and what it is trying to do to save humanity from another world war, right? Big nuclear war. It is that process is, let's have dialogue. Let's all get together and talk about things so we don't have that again. And that is this card here, saving humanity. And so we have that tower moment right now. We're in it, because you see what our great leader on Pumpkinhead, you see what he did, and it was all divisive and just it was this primal fear that he was spewing, that we're marinating in. But what's overshadowing, okay, let me drop this down again. But what's overshadowing this reading is our light of awareness, is the last card in our evolution of emptiness, of just being able to recreate another world. And it's all through our mental transformation. What do we want to believe in? We can stay in fear. We can stay in the lightness of awareness. But what this energy is bringing is saving humanity. Okay. Me like. Now, normally I don't read this deck like this. Normally I go into a portal energy. Okay, I gotta pause. Okay, so I'm going to use another. I almost didn't push play again. I'm going to use another deck, ask a similar question. I'm going to use my contact cards. What is, if they can share us what I'm getting multiple energies, but if there's a singular energy, if they can show us that with repeating multiple cards on here, just for fun, would like to see that. Also, if you guys want to play along, if you have regular tarot, you can play along. So what is the message, again, from this interstellar galactic traveler? What's the message? And if they can share with us the species that's the main species delivering it. Here we go. The message, we got crop circles. So in this deck, let me give you a little bit about what we have in this deck. Okay, so we have 5 suits. We have crop circles, and that's messages or guidance. We have stars, life cycles, illuminati's, goals. We have the planets, the environment as we know it. We have ships, the movement of energy, and then we have aliens. Aliens, and please do not talk to strangers. And that represents the energy. So I do have my cheat sheet here, and I will be using that a little. So let's drop this down, and we can drop this. I need to go in one of those galactic ships and see if they have a healing center, because this palm of my hand is driving me nuts. All right, we have crop circles. And the way that the way that I'm going to use this spread is seeker, and then I'm going to go conditions, messages from the guides, process, outcome. So the seeker, condition, stars, pulsar. Ooh. Wow, the energy, fast, big, transformation, dynamic life cycles. Pulsar, it's like, boom, this is a big one. This is like a tower card. Okay, number 3, messages from the guides. It's from a planet, the environment. This is Mercury, for you astrologists out there. Number 4, the process. It's a pod. Okay. And the outcome of this message, so far, I don't know where it's coming from. Besides source, Mars. Mercury, Mars. It's going really close to Mars. Maybe it's going to pick somebody up in Mars. Okay. Let's look at the crop circles a little bit. So here we have, with this crop circle, we have the Earth Goddess, and this is the Divine Feminine. So ever since I've been coming on YouTube and reading tarot and reading the energies of where we are shifting into the age of Aquarius, and well, I think we're there. I think we're there, and I know we'll definitely be there, because I think some planets are retrograde, keeping us really fully jumping in. But and you astrologers will be able to help me out here. But I think by next year, we're like just in it. We are fully stepped in it. The Divine Feminine. And what we have here with the stars, and this is, hang on. This is the conditions, right? And the star is pulsar. Come on, where is it? There we go. And this is, well, the key word for this is attention. Hey, wake up. Wake up. I want your attention. Mother Earth wants your attention. Oh, okay. All right. And then we get the messages from the guides, and we get Mercury. And Mercury is, I don't mean to sound redundant, but it is messages. Mercury sends us message. That's the key word. And then we have the ships, going back to the ships. And this is the process of getting this messages, getting this attention, saying, hey, pay attention to all them female energies out there. Quit being such a hard-ass male with a sword and destroying everything. Okay. That was a little rant on my part. All right. What is the process? It's a pod. It is a pod. And what is this? Pod represent your personal journey. Ooh. Ooh. Wait a minute. I thought this was a message for the earth. In these crop circles, I thought this was a message of Earth Goddess. No, it's a message for Mother Earth that it's individual, this journey. And the outcome. So when I think about the individual, if we all get on board with the message individually that we are getting from this galactic comet ship, interstellar object, then that individual becomes the collective energy. Okay. Sometimes I'm a little slow on the uptake, but I mean, and that's what we've been talking about, when we looked at the race that, hang on one second. Okay, so when we look back at what Gail said about who she was picking up as the messengers, she got the Sasani beings and she got the Yael beings. But the Sasani live by the 5 laws of creation. You exist. Everything is here and now. And here's where this comes in, individual. The one is the all, and the all are the one. What you put out is what you get back. Everything changes, but these laws. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so individually, we are the collective. And the outcome of this, we have another planet, which is war, Mars. Okay, lovely card to pull at the end. But with this reptilian fear that I have of this word, it's like the tower moment. There's always a positive side to everything, even though in my 3D brain, I am not willing to let go of the destructiveness of war. But let's just look at Mars and do a little deep dive into that. A long time ago, Mars had water, and then something happened, and we don't really know what happened. There are 2 moons around Mars, according to the contact card book. So I have not researched this. But what this book says, that the two diminutive moons named Phobos, which means fear, and Deimos means panic. And certainly we can take that on and go, oh my gosh, we're screwed. But hang on. Okay, so we have this primal fear when it comes to this card, Mars, war. It also has extreme temperatures. When you're in the sun, it's baking hot. When you're in the shadow, it's freezing cold. So it talks about the extremes of both sides. On the positive side, it says, these qualities can be sublimated into action, protection, self-assertion, and initiative. It says the card of Mars is a double-edged sword. With virtue and gallant attention, we can wield it to cut through conflict and confusion with shining clarity. With the fear or self-righteousness, we succeed in only bloodying ourselves on the point of our impotent rage. We are warned to be on the lookout for old habits that constantly plague us and plunge us into war with ourselves, internally, with the pod card, and others. We are cautioned against blaming the world for our woes and never facing the deep-set anger frozen within us that causes our frustrating failure to change our lives in the way that we desire. From the book. So the message, in wrapping this up, the message that I am getting, and please put the final message in the comments too, that would be great. And I'm going to put this up on both channels. The message that I'm getting here is we are at a precipice in our polarities. And there are other laws that we can follow. The law of one, where we are all together. Or we can stay on this path where it's just all about me and more Lamborghinis. And if we stay on that, then there are consequences. But if we all come together and we let go of our restrictions so that we can come together somehow and meld our polarities without judgment, without ego. But it feels like that we all have to look at what is the core of our being. What is it that we are doing to ourselves when we throw out a word or an action? It's just not going out there to somebody else. It's turning around and coming right back at us. So what we want to receive, we need to give. And that's kind of the message that I'm getting from this galactic interstellar ship. All right. I'd love to hear what you all have to say about it. Deep dive into the messaging. I think it's going to open us up. I think it is going to be a disclosure of some kind. Some people will believe it, some people won't. I believe. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Peace and love, and may the force be with you, Luke. Okay, so this is the reading that I did on who is in this spaceship that is coming, that is called 3i atlas. When I was with Gail, I said the first thing I heard was reptilian, and the good ones. And so, first card I pulled after we were doing this was the reptilians. She thinks that they are Yael aliens. They're a gray hybrid human. Anyway, this is what I got. The reptilians, and it's being challenged by saving humanity. So I guess that is maybe one of the things that they're here for. It could be a Syrian, to work on our belief systems. And we can access this if we use our shamanic journeys. Overshadowing everything is our earthly desperation. And this is the Zeta Reticuli, the past. I want to look at the Zeta Reticuli again. I think this is, it's not Orion Light, but anyway, I'll double check that. And then it's all about sharing cultural ideas. So it's just not one group, it is multiple groups that are involved in this, because right, Dragon got something else, Gail got something, and I got something. So very interesting. It's not about a light switch and saving humanity, though. It's just a more integration into saving humanity by sharing cultural ideas. Okay, thank you.